It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Can't believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Are you someone who quotes movies nonstop? And do you have like a go-to line? That was our question this morning. And we were having people just call us, give us the line, and we were trying to identify the movie. Kat struck out. I hit home runs. If you missed it, it was a lot of fun. It's coming up in the podcast in a couple of seconds. Here we go. YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows it means you only live once. Have you had a YOLO moment lately?
Just the other day, I am going to Nashville next month. Decided to
Start your music career?
Yes.
That a girl?
I have. You've heard some of my tunes, and I think I have what it
We'll
takes.
see you back in a couple of days.
So my mom, when I turned 40, said, I want to take you anywhere you want to go. I'll foot the bill. And what were we tossing around? Tokyo. We were tossing around London, Iceland. And then I'm
You
like,
eventually came to Nashville.
yes, I have no.
I love that city, though.
I have, and I'm so excited to go because the last time I went, I had a pretty good time, but I had a really good time with myself, like walking around the city and just going into little shops. And I just thought it was really a fun place to go. So I'm excited to do it up with her and a few friends.
So
and
your mom's not really into that nightlife, though, right?
Oh,
will she go to all these little bars? She'll
Yes.
go to Rippy's and stuff with you?
Rippy's is one of her, like they have whooped it up in Nashville 2 times now. It's going to be her third.
She's allowed back?
She acts like she is the mayor of Nashville. She's like,
Okay.
and then we got to go here. And I know the guitarist here and we're going to go get a drink
Really?
here.
This is so surprising.
She's like Cancun Jen, but now we have Nashville Jen.
Jen.
Just chill, ready to just, YOLO it up there.
Just less
too.
Birkenstocks, huh?
But when she called me and she's like, hey, we're going to Nashville. Do you want to go? And I'm like, I literally have nothing going on for that 72 hours. YOLO. So I'm going and I'm excited.
This is all on her dime.
Yes. So that's why I'm really
That's
excited.
an easy YOLO.
I know. So that is the latest YOLO.
When lately have you had a YOLO moment? And as soon as we were talking about this, Gina hollered at us, and I appreciate you holding. You got a potential YOLO moment going on right now?
Yes. So I got invited by one of my girlfriends to a very nice, exclusive kind of country club the other night, and I just enjoyed myself so much. It's not something that I'm used to doing. Me and my husband, we kind of, we like to keep it on the low end, kind of simple.
Yeah.
But this side of life just intrigued me so much. I've actually been thinking about joining the club, but he's like, oh, no, you're trying to socially climb, and this isn't us, and we don't do stuff like this. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of caught in the middle because I really liked the vibe. I loved everything that was going on there.
Well, before everybody gets into what the cost and everything is like this, let's just remember, like, this is like adulting at its finest. You found a place you feel like you belong.
Yeah.
Like that should be the foremost thing. Like, a lot of people will like just kind of scatter through life until they find this. But if you found it, man, I would dig in.
I would YOLO and no more FOMO with this. And but speaking of price, he didn't bring that up. He brought up the fact that you're a social climber and it's all about finding a place that you fit in. He didn't once, well, at least what you said, bring up price.
Well, he did bring up a little bit about the price.
There it is.
Okay.
But we have places in our finances where we could kind of skim back and we could do things a little different to make it affordable. It's not totally out of reach for us.
Right.
So the big question then, would you be willing to sacrifice some things to make this part of your life?
Most definitely. I'm excited to sacrifice the old things that I'm not even doing anymore and, just take this new step into this new lifestyle. I'm excited.
say, and JJ and I very rarely believe in the same thing, but I agree with him. You have to make this happen for yourself. We're going to do it with a pontoon next summer. We're going to cut corners of where we can, try to make it work because it brings us happiness. So if it makes you happy, you have to do this.
Yeah, you got one life. You should be happy.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for weighing in. That makes me feel a little bit more better because I hope he doesn't hear this, but I'm definitely going to find a way to
I
do
hope
it.
he does. He needs to know how you really feel. So remember, I think it was last month, it was that TikTok question, could 100 men take on one gorilla?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so now we have a new question here.
100 Brits versus 100 Americans. I'm a Brit that's spent a lot of time in America, so I feel I'm qualified to answer this question. And the Brits don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I would say no. Like, this is a straight out battle.
If it were a battle of wits, the Brits would win. Brits are very intelligent people.
Well, they say a lot of people, when you're hurt and you feel inadequate, you kind of use humor to mask that. I mean, obviously, we were like, screw you, your stupid rules and your taxes. We're going to do our own thing.
We make that 4th of July joke every year.
We're
where
survivalists.
It's like, have fun at work tomorrow. Yeah. I'm sure they don't appreciate that. But when I heard that, I'm like, physically, we could probably overcome them because we're way bigger. But like Brits, if it were a battle of wits, they would get us, which I love that about British people, like their dry humor and how they don't get butthurt about everything.
Yeah, they don't get offended.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. I mean, there are so many people here that could not stand a day over there.
Mano a mano, though, like if we had to battle it out, if you just put 100 British guys on the goal line and 100 American guys on the goal line, and you said last man standing on this football field is the winner, there'd be 75 Americans standing.
Yeah, I know. All the other ones are skinny soccer players from England.
Take your tea.
Yeah, but that's the latest combo that you'll hear at the water cooler today. We're done with the gorilla. It's 100 Brits versus 100 Americans. And you heard that, Brit, right there. Hands down, we would win.
We're just a much more aggressive country, though.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
so,
We're
too.
built off people going, we don't care about you and your stupid rules anymore. We're doing it our way.
And that's because we don't stop every day at 3 p.m. to have a spot of tea. I think we would be nicer people, calmer people, if we prioritize things that calmed us down. And they do. Like that city of London, or like if you're a Brit, you stop once a day at a certain time of day
That's
to
a real
have
thing,
tea.
huh?
Absolutely. High tea. So
I thought that was just like in movies.
No.
You're telling me the city basically shuts down, everyone has a cup of tea at 3
the whole
p.m.
city doesn't shut down, but you're like not feeling obligated, but it's just kind of like something that you're brought up to do. Like we had to do it when both times that I went to London. You're
You had to stop what you were doing and have a cup of tea.
Well, it's a designated time and you're just like, okay, it's time to slow down life. Go have some English breakfast, tea, and relax.
It's the most
I love
ridiculous
that.
thing I've ever heard.
No, I love it. I think that we should adopt.
How could you own a
something like that over
business?
here.
Everybody, hold on.
Are you thinking a whole hour shuts down?
Don't
nothing
call
happens?
our business between
No.
3 and 3:15 because William has to have a cup of tea.
How long do you think it takes to drink a cup of tea?
You got to make it, right?
How long do you think it takes to boil water?
A minute, 2 minutes.
Okay, so there's 2 minutes.
Then you got to dip it and you got to wait for it to get good.
It's called steeping.
Whatever. And then you squeeze a little bit out of there and then you sip. That's a whole 10 minutes out of your day gone because you got to have a cup of tea every day. It's a full hour a week that you're wasting drinking tea.
I do not think it's a waste. It's nice to slow down life a little bit.
This is why America is so much better because you know what we do? What our equivalent is? Happy hour. You know what happy hour is? After you're done with work. You do your whole day of work and then you can go have a beer.
How nice of them to slow down life during work, though. You're just like, oh, frazzled. And then you're like, wait, take a break for a half hour. Get your mind right.
How about get your mind right before work so you don't get frazzled? God, I hate to wreck all the British traditions today and tell you how stupid they are, but...
They're not listening.
Oh, there's at least one of them, and they're pissed now.
So I was talking to, we have a listener named Martina, and...
Talova?
No. She was at a basketball tournament, and her son is the same age as my son, so they play against each other a lot, and so we've gotten to get to know each other that way. And we were just talking about, she's like, oh, how old are you? And I said, I'm going to be 40 in March. And so she goes...
You'll be 41 in March.
Well, like when I talked to her before, March was
Just wanted
coming
to
up.
point out how old you're getting.
Anyway, I know. And then I said, yeah, I'm kind of excited. I hear some good things about 40. And then she made this face and she goes, just get ready. Just get ready for the cricks and creaks that literally start the first minute of your 40th year. And I was like, what do you mean? And without fail, I woke up
Whoop, there it is.
the next morning and my neck hurt from sleeping in the same bed that I've been sleeping in for 12 years. And I'm like, she was right. By God, she was right. Maybe she's a witch. Maybe she set a spell on me. But I'm like, I hear that a lot where just unexplainable things happen to your body once you turn 40.
When my dad was
It's so
getting
true.
older, he had told me, he said, I can't wait. Because I used to bust on him all the time about having to get up and pee at night.
Yeah.
Like I'd be just getting home or, something like that. Or I'd be getting up for an early morning job and it'd be 3:00 in the morning. Maybe I'd still be up studying when I was in high school. And he'd be up. He's like, oh, once you turn a certain age, you got to pee like 3 times a night.
I hear
like,
that about guys.
But it hasn't happened to me yet.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay.
And I'm like waiting that one out. So like, what's one of those things that people kind of warn you about as aging happens?
Or
but
you wish they did warn you about.
or maybe you just ignored it, something like that. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We should be aware of what as you get a little bit older.
Menopause.
Okay,
now,
just-
tell us like an average day where you're like, damn this life. What's going on?
Oh, everything. Nothing is normal. Your body just goes into denial. You're hot. You're cold. You're stuck in a chair. You can't.
Wait, whoa. I got to stop you there. Tell me about the stuck in a chair thing. I've got to know more about this.
Oh, dude, your body just locks up. If you sit too long, everything locks up. Just like people. Oh, it's just gross.
So what about your emotions? Because that is where things could go wrong. You could say nasty things to people that you love. That's what I'm worried about.
I think Kat was trying to say is that women are overly emotional all the time, and now they have an excuse. Is that what you think?
I didn't say that.
We never need an excuse, but it's real. You cry, you're happy, you're sad, you're angry, trying to bite your teeth so you don't go Karen every 5 seconds. Yeah, no, it's real.
Oh, my gosh.
When did this start happening for you? Do you remember what age?
Give or take 42, 43.
So it's different for everybody. Is there anything that your doctor told you leading up to this, like perimenopause, like this is something that you can do to help your body acclimate to this new change?
Drink more water, rest.
That's it. It's a
It's
trained
not altitude.
A trained medical professional gave you that advice, huh?
There's got to be like a vitamin.
Yes.
Okay.
No. That is a real thing.
So you're going to tell
you
me
get 20,000 different supplements. It's crazy.
that within a year or two, Kat may be doing this on the daily. It's not like I don't take enough abuse in here.
Oh, yeah,
But
right.
now this could be something that just becomes my life.
Yep. Get ready for it.
I don't know. How am I going to
You'll get it at
survive this?
home?
Yeah.
You're gonna get
I was
it
going to say
here?
about the same time my wife will start going through it. All of a sudden, there's going to be a day where there's just dead air and there's no more JJ, and you're going to find him living in a cabin in Montana somewhere, just getting away from it.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
It's life. But you know what? I realized a lot of really great things come with getting older, too, like the confidence. I can't stress to people that are younger than me enough what happens when you turn 40. You just have that confidence, like nothing you say will penetrate this. I should have said that differently.
Yeah. I was going to leave that one hanging out there.
It's true.
Yeah, I know.
Plus,
and I love it.
No more
I don't care factors.
no more emergency runs to Target at 2 a.m, right?
Do you
No.
do you still get your period though a little bit?
Well, I'm 54 now, so
Okay,
not so much.
not so much.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
good stuff. Thanks for all the heads up on this, Jamie. You're the best. I hope you have a great day. And I'm trying to be nice to you because I know you could snap at any
too.
second.
Go stick your head in the freezer.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck getting up from your chair today. Have a great day. So we developed this part of the show that we call OPP. It's other people's problems. Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Everybody!
And by us, we don't always give the best advice. So if you have any advice for Marcus, I'm sure that he would be receptive towards it because he's the one that wanted to be on with us today. So
You want to tell us what's going on here? I know you got some kind of a little bit of drama with your friends.
Hey guys, first long time listener, first time caller. All right, so here's the deal.
Thank you. I love it.
So my buddies are giving me all kinds of grief because I figured out a system that works for me.
Okay.
And what I like to do is there's this nice lounge a few blocks from my house that tends to have that has like a crowd that skews to the older side.
Okay.
You know, like we're talking like 50s and up, right?
are you trying not to
And-
say the word cougar right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's more of a saber-tooth. We're actually venturing into saber-tooth tiger territory, so I didn't want to go too far on that.
Listen, they're hot. They're longing for stuff too. I'm sure that's why they're out.
So wait, let me get this
Yeah,
right
yeah,
then.
like-
Your friends are
Go ahead.
dogging on you for going to like a cougar hut?
Yes. I mean, for lack of a better term, but yes, like a cougar cave would probably make more sense. Yeah. But either way, like it works for me. First of all, I'm enjoying myself. I've never felt more in demand in my life. Sure. I've been going to regular nightclubs and bars, getting turned down left and right. I am a catch in this place. All right, these women are fawning over me. They can't wait to talk to me, and a lot of them have very interesting lives to tell me all about, like, you know, their past relationships and their 3, 4, 5 divorces and their kids and everything. And on top of that, like the really, they always smell good. They always, like, a lot of them be trying to take me out places. A lot of them, and every now and again I let them. You know what I mean? So like, I've spent enough money on women. Why not let them flip the script? You know what I mean?
So you think you're just, you know, you're giving them a good time. They're showing you a good time. No harm, no foul.
Exactly.
You know what? When I get to a certain age and a hot young guy is hitting on me, and I really don't want any connection after that night, I think this sounds kind of ideal. I wonder why your friends have a hard time with it.
Because they're jealous.
Oh,
that might be what it boils down to, huh?
Yeah, they're just looking for a reason to pick on me because I found something that works, and they're miserable.
I don't want to cut you off there, but this has been such a double standard for so long.
Where a woman can get with an older man.
If you're a 25-year-old girl and you don't want to spend any money, and you see a 50-year-old guy who's divorced twice and just looking for a good time, there was never anything wrong. Yeah, you get called a floozy or a gold digger, but like for a guy to do this is a little bit different. And now that the script is flipped, his friends have a problem.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing Marcus saying that he is using them for anything monetary. Like, women get a bad rap when they're younger if they're going for an older man because they're like, yeah, we're getting something out of it.
You don't want to work.
He's getting like just a brief sexual connection and having fun with that cat and mouse. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If both people are in on it and they just want to feel good for a night and he's calling her hot and she's like, you're even hotter. Like, I have Marcus spit that game.
Talked to Marcus a couple of seconds ago. We're calling him Marcus the Cougar Hunter because his friends are starting to dog him out because he basically just loves going to bars or clubs that really cater to older women, and he's feeling desired and he's having fun. But his friends are all really just kind of, you know, busting his... Yeah,
but he says that everybody involved in the scenario, him and then the older chick that he decides to have fun with that night, they're all like, we are on the same level. We are of the same understanding that this is going to be a fun night.
Imagine describing this to your grandparents.
Yeah, well, you don't think any
their generation
older generation had fun with a younger generation for a night?
No.
Maybe they just didn't talk about it. But Amy chimed in via texting. She says, I say go for it. If you're both into it, why not? And that's what I say. If everybody is into it, nobody else should matter. Their opinion shouldn't matter.
Those old women catch feelings.
I'm going to disagree with you, and you're going to hear why coming up with Paparazzi at 9 with what Tori Spelling says. I feel like once you get to a certain age, you have different priorities, and men are maybe not a part of that. Clara says, FYI, I'm 51, and I've been married for 26 years. Was there more to that, Clara? I don't know if she was... But maybe there was supposed to be more to that. But
thanks for the text.
Yeah, thanks for the text. I should have pre-read that. But she was, I think, maybe saying that it would have been okay. But
Barb, you think it's okay for him to be cougar hunting at this point in his life?
You know, if he's not hurting anybody and the other person ain't bothered with it, you know, let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, he's not hurting anything.
So
they both have an understanding.
Barb, how old are you? I forget.
I'm 60.
Okay, so what's the youngest you'd go for? If you have this, like, hot guy in front of you, how young is the youngest you'd go for?
Probably 39.
30.
That is a very specific number.
That was modest. I would have expected, like, 18 or 19. You just can't handle that action anymore, can you?
It's just they're too naive at that age.
Yeah, but it's only like 10 hours of their time. I can let naivety and immaturity
All
go
right,
for
we're going down
10
a path
hours.
here that I don't know if we want to go down. Thank you, Barb. I appreciate it. What would be the youngest? That's a great call. If you're in your 50s or 60s even, what would be the youngest you could go? Coming up Thursday morning during our live show, Psychic Kim will be here. So if you've been wanting to get in and ask her a question, she'll be here at 7:30 Central. All you got to do is holler at us, get in line. You can ask her anything you want, but we only get her for a half hour. So get your questions ready. We'll have her on Thursday morning at 7:30. Right now, let's wrap up the podcast, guys. So my son and I were at a baseball game last night and just kind of sitting in the bleachers. And we got on this roll, and I don't know if you do this with your family at all, but we just started quoting movie lines. And it started with Major League because we're at a baseball game.
Right.
And, a guy hit a ball, and my son Peyton goes, "Is that you, Tolbert?" Like, and we just started feeding off each other, and my daughter's there, too, just looking out of the corner of her eye, like, these are the people I'm related to? What's going on? And then a couple of drunk guys behind us started chiming in, and basically it was just 7 innings of people spewing random movie lines.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I'd be like, well, what is that from? And I was kind of stumped a little bit, and I thought, do you have a favorite movie line, one that you use almost all the time? If so, just tell us what it is. I want to see if I can guess the movie. Do you have one that you go to?
I use it all the time. Like, our family, huge movie buffs. And I use it all the time because it works for so much. I always say, well, I saw the luggage and the airline ticket and I put 2 and 2 together. Like Liam the other night, I had a Caesar salad making kit. It said Caesar salad on the bag. And he's like, "Hey, what kind of salad are we making?" And I just said, well, I see the Caesar and the salad, and I'm going to put 2 and 2 together. I'm going to make a Caesar salad. He used the movie line the other day, and it was quite offensive. But we were at my cousin's Verbo in his pool, and I was getting out, and he was like, "Moto, like you." I was like, that is a hippo. That is not
done.
kind, sir.
Well done.
Moto, likes you.
Good morning, Kai. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We're great.
Good.
Thanks. So you got to go to movie line. I just want the line. Don't tell us what movie it is. I want to see if either of us. Don't Google, Kat.
I won't.
I want to see if either of us can figure it out.
Well, you're a daisy if you do.
Oh, Tombstone. Yeah, I love
Yep.
that. I love
What does
that
it
It's
even
one of my
mean?
favorite movies.
I've
Yeah,
never seen
so
it.
this is what is it? It's Doc Holliday and then somebody else, maybe Johnny Ringo in the movie, and they're just kind of back and forth. Or I think he's got He's got a gun on him, and he's gonna shoot him. And he goes, "I got you," something like that. And he goes, "You're a daisy if you
He's like,
do."
you're so drunk, you're probably seeing double. And he whips out both of his guns, and he's like, "Well, I got 2 guns, one for each of you."
Oh,
Is this a mobster movie? Are you into what is it?
Tombstone, old school Tombstone,
Stop saying the word. I don't know
old
what
Western.
it is.
yeah, Wyatt Earp,
Oh, okay.
Doc Holliday, the whole thing of when the West was won, kind of thing.
You're a daisy.
Good
if
one.
you
I
do.
don't know a lot of women that are really into Tombstone. That's well done.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm your Huckleberry. Have a great day.
Right, you too.
Take care. Bye-bye. How's Ann today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
We're great. Thanks. Give me a movie line. I want to see if we can figure it out just by hearing it.
Those aren't pillows.
Oh, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, right?
How do you know
Yes,
this?
Yes.
I figured you were going to get
Oh
that.
my God, this man never watches movies, and he's gotten both of them.
If it's older than 15 years old, I probably know all the lines in it. But so it's
That's what I figured.
Steve Martin and John Candy.
Any John Candy movie
Yes.
is my favorite. What's the one where him and Dan Aykroyd, their families,
Great
they
Outdoors.
double book? That is a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, they have to they get stuck because their plane gets canceled or whatever or downed, and they end up having to share a hotel room. And he says, I think it's John Candy says something like, "Yeah, I slept really well. I had this dream that my hand was in between these 2 pillows, and they're sleeping, they're like spooning right next to each other." And he goes, "Those aren't pillows." And
But here's the question: why do you use it so often?
yeah, good one.
Where are your pillows? and where's your hand?
I do not use that very often.
Oh,
but
okay. It's your
It's still a
favorite.
great one.
It's a great one. Hey, thanks
Yes.
for the smiles this morning. I hope you have a great day today.
So Orkin out with an acronym to help travelers. So wherever you stay, do you look for bed bugs? Is that in your mind? Or
I guess when you go to sleep, you rip the sheets back and you take a look. And if you
So
don't
you do.
see anything jump out at you, you're like, I should be safe.
Yeah. Well, you never know what's going to be hopping on your clothes and then hopping in your car with you and you taking it back home. So they have found this way. It's called sleep. So each letter stands for something to protect you. So S, search the room for signs of bedbug infestation. There we go. L, lift sheets, curtains, cushions, look for bed bugs. E, elevate your luggage, keep it on a rack. They want it off the floor or else they can crawl inside. The other E, examine your luggage when you are repacking. And then P, put all your dryer safe clothing in the dryer on high heat for 30 minutes when you get home. So that should kill them all and you should be safe. But that gives me the willies even talking about it. All right, so here's a question, speaking of travel, for all you parents. How long, if you were on a 10-hour road trip with your kids, how many hours should they have screen time?
It's 10 hours. They can do all 10 hours of it.
There you go. That's a dad just answering that riddle because it's the easiest way to keep them entertained.
I think the easiest way is get on a damn airplane. I'm not driving 10 hours anywhere.
I know. Anybody that's like, yeah, we're going to load up and drive to Florida. I'm like, why would you ever do that?
I have friends that they drive to Arizona every single year.
If it's 2 adults, fun.
No,
that'll be fun.
4 kids.
Okay. No.
Psychosis.
I would drive off a cliff.
Hey, real quick question. When you broke up with your ex-fiance, was there a splitting of assets, or did he just split and anything left behind you sold to me? Was that really the way it worked? Or but you guys didn't really have accumulations together, right? You didn't have a home, you didn't have cars, you didn't have a dog.
We didn't blend our bank accounts, thank God. We didn't have any property together. We just were living in sin. That term.
That's such an outdated term, right? I feel like you should live with someone before you get married. Because
I agree.
You got to see their tendencies and you got to have that first big fight and stuff. The reason I bring this up, you know who comedian Andrew Schultz is?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
No.
Okay. Well, he's a pretty famous comedian. He's got this show. It's called Flagrant. And I was sent this audio. James Sexton is the guest on the show, and he's a high-profile New York City divorce attorney.
Okay.
In one of the episodes, there's this petty divorce story going on. And I want you to hear how this played out.
What's the most petty thing you saw in a divorce?
I once had a divorce there was a $25 million marital estate. They'd burned several $100,000 each in counsel fees. We managed to settle the case, and the only thing we were down to was the division of personal property. And we couldn't agree on who got a $45 toaster oven, and the settlement blew up.
What?
$45
Did you not just go all
I actually did that. I actually said, I'm on Amazon right now, Prime delivery. I will buy everyone in this room this toaster.
And what
if we could just sign the
because it's never about the toaster.
It wasn't about the toaster.
I can't imagine how frustrating that is. Like where you just look at your client and you're like, come on, you do not need half of the couch. You know, I know you sat on half that couch for your marriage, but it doesn't mean that much to you.
Is the current last thing you split a pet? Do you feel like that's it? If you both loved the dog and you were willing to go to the mattress to the very last thing in your divorce?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe if it's something that you bought together and you shared good times with that pet. I don't understand that, though. It's not like a kid. Like I have a friend that had 50-50 custody of their teacup. And I was
what?
Their teacup.
Oh, I thought you meant a real teacup.
No,
Jesus.
It was like a Chihuahua teacup. It was very, very small dog, and he just had such an emotional connection to it. But I just think he wanted to stay in her life.
Oh.
But they would do the exchange
at
on
the police
weekends,
station?
and no, at Walmart in the parking lot because it was like halfway from his house to her house, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Poor dog's going through some trauma.
No doubt.
So my question to you was, if you've been through one of these kind of breakups, or maybe even it was a divorce situation, what was the most petty thing you had to deal with?
Yeah.
And it drove you crazy. It was a petty situation, or maybe you were the antagonist. Like that would be me. With Trisha, I don't want the dog, but I would make sure I got 50-50 of that dog.
God, I am so happy that I'm not attached to one thing at all, period, except for my child, obviously. But aside from that, have whatever.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have any attachments, but just to make her mad, I would.
I know you would.
How we feeling?
I am feeling fine. I saw a shooting star on my way in.
You made a wish, and what that wish was?
I can tell you my wish.
Oh, like I'm going to stop it from happening?
That's the rule. You can't tell somebody your wish. It's like when you blow out your birthday candles, it won't come true if you tell someone your wish. I wished for money.
So hold on. Let me fully understand. And who made the rules for the shooting star?
The universe, and everybody has followed it.
So if I see a shooting star and I say, I wish for continued good health, and I tell my wife that I saw a shooting star and that was my wish, it won't come true. I'll just get sick and die.
I didn't make the rules. I just follow them. And that's probably why all your wishes haven't come true.
And
You're
hold
like
on.
telling everybody about them.
So you blow out your birthday candles when you're 9 years old, and your grandma goes, "What'd you wish for?" And you said, "A new bike." You'll never get a new bike?
Right. I would never, ever tell anybody what I
have
wish
never
for.
heard this ridiculous in my life. In my
And
life.
I know that I'm not going to come into money. That's why I just told you what my wish was.
But that was really it. You just wanted to be rich?
Yeah. But it wasn't for like
So
what you think it's for. It's not just like just to be rich.
Not perpetual love, not the health of my family, not that everyone that I care for.
I have that.
You have to wish for something you don't have. That's a rule too. Can you go and just over the next couple hours and write down the full list of rules that comes with birthday cakes and shooting stars? Because I never knew any of this was in existence.
It's a short list. Just don't tell anybody what you're wishing.
But you already said, but then you can't wish for something you already have. So like, I can't wish for continued good health for my family.
So now we'll test it. If I come into some money, then go ahead and tell people your wish.
You don't show up like Monday.
Yeah.
You found a bag of money on the side of the road and the shooting star worked.
Right. But I wished for money, but then I also said out loud, I justified why I wanted that money. I didn't want it for materialistic things.
Yours was to help others and give to the poor.
No,
I'm
I
guessing.
wanted it for a pontoon, but it's not the materialistic aspect of it. It's to make memories with my family. So it was like, I need the pontoon.
So now that you've said it, you'll never have another
Stay out
memory with
there.
your family.
No.
Right? That's the way it works.
No, now you're reading into it.
Oh, you said the universe
No,
works
you're
this
going a
way.
little bit too far.
Well, that's what I do. Basically, I've made a living out of doing
But
it.
then, like, I went through a roller coaster this morning. I was really excited to see a shooting star because it's kind of fun. And then walking through the alley, did you see those two little baby bird eggs? They fell out of the nest.
You know what?
And
I
they're
thought
just
somebody
like-
was egging our building because they were listening to our show.
No, they
I
were
saw
so
the shells.
tiny, and their little beaks were in there. It was like fully developed baby, and they're both dead. So then I just felt terrible.
Those are the breaks, kid.
But other than that, had a great day yesterday. Had book club at Michelle's house, so that was really cool. It was just a gorgeous night to have some Moscato out on the porch. Freedom Days meeting, Liam went golfing after basketball, and it was just kind of that kind of day. So have you ever had an epic birthday, like a blowout, one that you just will never forget? Or are they all pretty
My last one, my 50th, we had so many people show up, and just like to see friends that I hadn't seen in a long, long time. And my wife and my daughter and my kids went way above and beyond to make it really, really special because I think they think I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
And so that was great.
Okay. Yeah, it was fun. But to celebrate you. But this guy, he went out of his mind. He's like, I'm 57 and I have to just live my best life. And his name is Jonathan Winslow from Key West, Florida. And I'll tell you what he did. He just went wild.
It was my birthday. I was very drunk.
So he smoked meth. He stole a trolley, but then he drove around and picked up tourists and he showed them all of the sights. And these tourists, they had no idea that he was blitzed. And they were like, oh, wow. And he could have made up everything. You know, he could have made up just this huge story about that house and this landmark. But then they finally caught up to him at the famous southernmost point
He kept
buoy.
making all the stops.
He had driven miles with these passengers, and he just kept people would wait at the tourist stops for the trolley to come by. He'd be like, get on. It's my birthday, by the way. I'm turning 57.
Have you ever been that methed out? You were talking about, this the other day. And I was
the question we're going with?
You ever been so methed out you stole a trolley and still stopped for all the passengers?
You know, I can't recall, but I do know.
What was your best birthday if you had to pick a year?
When I was 21. Turned 21 in where you wouldn't think would be a very fun place to turn 21, Fargo. But it was
Fargo's got its subtleties.
It was it's like definitely grown and it looks pretty fantastic now. But like we went to Old Broadway and that was the place, the spot, the hot spot. And I remember my friend Renata came up to celebrate with me and we took some shots.
Renata with the rum shata?
No, we didn't. No. And so it was so fun. A night to let loose, turning 21 and got all gussied up, got our hair blown out. It was a really fun birthday.
Is there one that really sticks out in your mind? And if so, like why?